Good evening. It is Monday, December 22nd, 2025. The time is 6:59 p.m., and this is the second day of winter. This is going to be a serious video. Maybe even the first attempt at that. Back in the day, my goal was to make it as funny as I could. I want people to laugh so they'll like me. And I'm not talking like on the Facebook. I'm talking about just me in general, just to like me. And I'm not too concerned about that anymore. I do need to warn you, there's going to be religious talk here. When I first started doing YouTube videos, I was talking about religion. And I was trying to convince people that it's okay to have a little Buddhism along with your Christianity. They work well together. There's no paganism. Buddhism isn't really a religion. It's just more of a procedural technique and blah, blah, blah. Put that stuff out there and people were like, you're preaching at us. No. So I took them down. It's like, whoa. And I put up videos on Star Trek and comparisons between that and Star Wars and things about things, jumping around and looking like an idiot. I look back on some of those things, most of them, and I cringe. It's like, how foolish do I look? I really do. And I want to basically say this one here wants to be about a serious topic, and it wants to be about last week. Basically about last Sunday, not yesterday, but the Sunday before that. And I need to capture what date that is. That's the 14th. Okay, so on the 14th, that's a Sunday, I had called my cousin who lives up north, as if that makes a difference, and asked if I had any time to talk with him. He's a funny guy and he's good to talk with. And he said, sure, but it's only going to be about 10 minutes because we're going to go online with our church. And I'm like, whoa, hey, I've been reading lately, kind of delving into the Bible and actually getting something out of it. I want more. Can I do that? He gave me the URL and we talked as long as we could. And this thing's counting down. Anyway, and we hung up, and then I connected to this immaculate church, this incredibly beautiful church. And the preacher eventually got on there, and he started preaching about a book called Hebrews, which is written by an unknown author. It's in the New Testament, in chapter 1. Jesus, he says in this book, is higher than the angels, better than the angels. And he created the universe, and he makes things in motion, imagining the atoms, the subatomic atom particles. He makes them all move. It's a lot of power. I was reading a commentary that said he is the most powerful being in the universe. Talk about Marvel comics, Anyway, So we're talking about religion right now, and I gave you a warning, so I'm sorry. By the way, this is a Red Cross, not anyway, it just happens to be I went down there today. So he amazed me, inspired me with this sermon, and then he said, "That's it, we're done talking," and they disconnected from me, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll keep reading because I was fascinated. Somehow, I ended up in Hebrews chapter 6. I don't know how I did that because I went back later to try to find footnotes or cross references that would go say, here's something similar, go to this chapter. I couldn't find it. So somehow I ended up in chapter 6. And I read there, and I got it right here, but I'm not going to read it verbatim because that's boring. For those with Bibles in their hands, they can go to chapter 6, verses 4 through 6. Anyway, it basically says, it is impossible for those who have tasted the goodness of God. This is a paraphrase. The goodness of the Holy Spirit. They have tasted the wonders of Christ. It's impossible for those people if they fall back and reject all that. It is impossible for them to later come back and say, can we get back in? Called redemption. I read that and I'm like, that's me. Yeah. Whoa. I guess I've been doing all this work for nothing. Because I spent 30 something years wondering if God existed, get into the point where I convinced he didn't exist, shaking my fist at heaven and at God himself, saying, why did you do this to me? Talking about my mental illness and all that stuff. They did this counter going down. I don't know how to do this. I got 2 minutes left. Anyway, I'll have to tell you about what I learned later in the second video. I mean, I looked at my stack of Bibles and thought, I might as well give these away. Expensive Bibles. I've been buying them on Kindle too. Can't give those away, but, and I'm like, I don't need to be concerned about working towards something good. I was done. So we'll continue this in the next video. Copyright 2025, nobody. This is public domain.